and welcome to another episode of the BigFooty Tigercast. I'm your host Michaels, and it is trade week, and that means only one thing. Our man, Tiger71, is back on board. So, Tiger71, welcome to you.
Thanks, Mick, and greetings, everyone.
And grand final celebrations. It's we haven't heard from you for a little while, so you're still recovering from that?
Yeah, you probably can hear it in my voice. It's I've celebrated very hard, I would say, but well worth it. Our club's a great one, and we've a lot of old timers. I'm 45 years of age, so I've gone through some serious shit. Shit nearly as bad as reading RFC Tiger74 posts. That level of tragically shit, and to get the Premiership Cup makes it all worth it. You know what I mean? Or what would be the silver lining is that if RFC 74 just doesn't post anymore, that would even top off my ear. But outside of that, it's been great. No, it's been great, and I'm sober now, which is, but I've got the dry horrors. Hopefully they pass. Yeah, what about yourself?
Yeah, it's been an exciting time. Watched the replay a few times, and just spending a heap of money on memorabilia. So.
Yes. Speaking of replays, I've literally watched it about 8-9 times, I believe. So it doesn't get old, does it?
It doesn't. No, it really doesn't. And it's good to see other threads pop up on the board about your favourite moment in the game and things like that, and just seeing people relive and speak about the parts they enjoyed is really good as well.
Yeah, no, for me, when I say watching a replay, what I actually do is I load up the St Kilda game because that was the last home and away game. Then I watch the Geelong game, and then I watch all of our final games leading up to the grand final. Then I watch the grand final. So and I've done that about 8-9 times. So just great. How good were our boys though? It's they were good. They were real good. My only question is, can Townsend continue it? That's going to be the story of next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he can. I mean, she should take a heap of confidence out of that. I mean, he was given simple jobs to shut down the opposition's best intercept mark, and I think he did it pretty well in all 3 finals games. So if he can keep doing that, he's laughing.
He's played a role, didn't he? He played a role, and he has to just continue playing that role. So, yeah, you're right. I just love the win. I love the saltiness on the boards, though. You got your Essendon flogs, you got your North flogs, you've got the mods on BF. Particularly in what's his name? Chisholm, is that it? The blue flog.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going to say it. So anyone that doesn't like a swear word, just cover your ears now. Just giving you enough time. He can go get fucked. Really, he's a piece of shit. But outside of that, man, every time I hear someone cry, I just smile. And I'm sure all of us are the same. So, yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah, it's great for the club. We all deserve it. So
great. And don't edit that out too. That's going to be my only swear word.
Yeah, okay.
I feel I was too clean last post, and it's the guys on the boards didn't enjoy it. So that was for you.
Making up for it.
Of course, actually, Tiggs 2010. He's female, yeah, Tiggs 2010. About 12 years of age, Mexican girl. Makes shoes, I believe. But anyway, she I speak Mexican. I understand it. And she sent me a text via Skype, said, can you please swear again? It makes her, makes her feel like she's 18. So I said, okay. That was for you, Tiggs 2010.
I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy that.
Yeah, she can go back to work now. I'm sure she is.
And on to, I suppose, the big topic. Trade week's obviously just started. Yep. There's been a couple of deals drop.
Yep.
I personally think that Melbourne overpaid for Jake Lever, but that's a whole different discussion altogether. What have you heard? I know people have been hassling us on the trade thread to get something up for them to listen to. So where are we at with everything?
Yeah, look, listen, we're not going to really ramp up till probably the last couple of days of trade week. The reason is because a couple of things. We've won a flag. We've got a really young core talented list, your managers, your Ellis's, Markov. We've got a group of young kids that are going to need to have a crack, Stengel, Shea Bolton. We do have we've got Guthwaite, I think it is, the defender. We've got, we still obviously need some more young kids, particularly in the forward line with a bit of height. So, we're looking at to see what we can shake loose. But I just want to say before I start telling you guys what I know, I've got to filter some of this stuff out because some of what I know might harm the club. So if I'm really vague, just And now to the haters, now because I know the Raw is back. He's going to listen to this. He says he doesn't listen, but he always comments. So I know you do, mate, and I love you too. I'm only being. I've told a couple of people that I trust the full story, so they know. But I've got to be vague on a few things because I just don't want to ruin the good work the club's done. Because what I wanted to say is the club has been brilliant, particularly since even the year before Neil arrived. That last year I should say, we play our cards very close to our chest, and we shake the tree basically. And we sit there, and if someone wants us to facilitate something, we make them pay through the arse. So that's what we're doing this time around. So hopefully it works.
Fingers crossed. It looks like we're turning into the Essendon, so of the trade world, which is nice.
Well, the difference is we've got a personality. People like us, and we're easy to deal with. It's just you've got to pay our price. You know what I mean? Caddy deal was a perfect example out of that. You know what I mean? The recruiters in our club have done a hell of a lot of work behind the scenes to players, player managers, and they're really driven. And look, I will say this, and on record, hopefully it does come out. We're a destination club. We've knocked players back straight off the bat. Like, not interested, you're not the right type of player. You know, thank you for asking, but goodbye. Stringer was a perfect example of that. If we had said, yeah, we're interested in Stringer, he would have nominated us. I've got that's not me being salty with Essendon. I've just got no doubt about it. Same thing with Devon Smith. So the club's got a really clear plan of where it's got to sit. We need it tall, and that segues into what I believe, which is contrary to what most others are saying. I still believe a birdie's told me that we're still into Shaki. We're just playing. If we can get him at the price that we want, that's all I'll say. I reckon we'll get him across the line. So watch this space on that tall. The meeting, they did have a meeting. They've had several meetings. The last meeting was emotional, yes, but that doesn't mean it was negative. It's sort of been twisted and spun off like poor kid's got bipolar or some other tribe. It's not the case. All I know is that Shaki is of interest. That's what I'll say. I think that's – what do you reckon, Mick? That's a good way of saying it?
No, that is a good way of saying it, and I think that would – I think it would be a good get for the right price. My biggest concern was that we paid too much for him, only because while he's got a lot of potential, he's still not fully proven, and that kind of scares me a little bit. But like what you've said, I really trust the club in their judgment based on what they've done the last few years. They've really nailed all their trades and picks, so definitely we'll back him in.
Yeah, we need a tall with a bit of mobility, a tall that can burst the lines, in the first 5 steps. Shaki can do that, and Shaki can take a really high contested mark and bring the ball to ground. He's basically a younger, taller, bigger version of Rewalt. Doesn't have Rewalt's mind, doesn't have his footy smarts, but Rewalt had a gun like Richo to learn under. He had that natural talent as a kid. Shaki has proven that natural talent as a kid. If you look at his numbers stack up right up there, and the impacts he had on games as a junior was elite. So, in his first year, he was off the charts in relation to performance compared to what he should be putting out in relation to his being a first year player. So his second year tanked, but he had reasons for that. Obviously, he wants to come home, and some people don't handle it quite well, and he's a young kid. So I rate him. I want him at the club. I've not been shy in saying that since the get-go. Hell, it was a year ago when I said this will happen, and it's all come about so that he was going to be tradable. So, I think we're happy for him to re-sign with Brisbane. It was smart on them. Gives them control, but it was a way to protect Shaki. So I just say, yeah, watch his space. I actually think he'll be a Richmond player. We don't want to offer 15 for him though. We've got plans for 15. I believe that's either to the draft or a particular kid that we believe that we can get, or we might still have another feather out our cap that I don't know of. But I do know that 15 is sort of non-negotiable for us. We're not moving on it. So unless it's way too good to refuse. So I wouldn't be surprised if we offered 17 and let's say a player. I do know that Miles is not getting the attraction that I thought he would. So Lloyd is probably the key, or one of those two, or it might be Batchelor even. But what we're trying to do is, do that, depict that they want with a player and something back. I think that's all it is. If we were offering 15, he'd be our player by now. We haven't. So that's just from me, guys. From what I've heard, I wouldn't believe what you read or what even Dan basically say, because you can counter that and go, what was Hardwick's remark when Shaki signed? So there's still keen interest there. It's not make or break. It's not the interest or commitment level we had with Prestia. It's fair enough to say, but I believe there's things going on in the background that we're all not privy to, or privy to, I should say. And to defend Shaki a little bit, he hasn't got a mental illness. So, but again, I don't know everything, but from what I've been told from people I really, really do trust that would know more than I would know, he doesn't. He's just, in a bit of a mess this year because he wants to get home.
Fair enough. And like you said, it can be hard for the young kids to handle. And the other thing, I suppose, to remember as well is when he was playing in his first and second year at Brisbane, he was their main forward, so he was copping the best defender each week. So your point about him potentially learning off Riewoldt if he was to come across would definitely be a huge benefit for us and for him. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty pivotal part.
He'll be a jet. He'll be an absolute jet. One thing I can tell you guys, we're not going to get role players or plotters from other clubs. That won't happen. We're trying this, I believe we're trying aggressively to find homes for a couple of loyal servants like your Bachelors, your Lloyds, your Miles, people that are needing opportunity. We're doing everything we can to try to find them some homes. But outside of that, we're like the tiger, if you will, sitting in the jungle, just watching the prey, drinking in the watering hole, and just waiting for them to lift their head and look at us. And then if they need us to engage, we will. But trust me, it will be a definite win to us when we do. So that's basically it. I know it's not much, but it's I'm wrapped. It's because I used to hate it when and the guys on the boards would know, like 3 years ago, you'd know exactly what the plan was because they leaked more than anybody. The only reason I know about the Shaki thing is because I get my information from outside the club, and that's why I knew so far away before anyone else that it was going to happen in relation to Shaki being leaving the Lions, or wanting to leave the Lions, because I know someone that's really close to it. So, yeah.
Oh, it's better than nothing, though.
Oh, so. Yeah. Look, listen, I wanted to, and I don't want to bullshit, mate. I don't want to say, at Lang, we're going to be into Lang. I do know we're looking at someone at West End Bulldogs. We are in talks for a tall. They've got a lot of talls. And with the Stringer issue, I reckon that's cropped up today. They're going to need to offload a tall. It's not Campbell, the Campbell fellow. It's I think it's Redpath is the one that we've circled the name on to see if we can do something to get a Redpath across. Because we do appreciate we need a forward with presence. That'd just be. So this is the thing, guys. This is from what I can gather from what I've heard, and it's been repeated so often, it's sort of now I believe it. The forward we're going to get is not going to be a traditional power forward like Power Ranger Tex Walker. It's not going to be that type. It's going to be a power forward that can create an impact. What I mean is can crash a contest, right? Doesn't have to be the best mark. He's just got to be able to have a fair bit of endurance because he's going to be able to run and he's going to be able to hit the packs. Taking the mark's great, but he's going to be able to do that because our small forwards we will persist with till obviously it gets counted because we've got a lot of elite talent in the forward line. And people don't realise that media, the idiots that they are going, oh, yeah, we just stumbled into it. How many elite small forwards have we got playing reserves? We've got Stengel, we've got Shai Bolton. You know what I mean? We've got two, I reckon, pretty elite kids when given an opportunity, plus who we're actually playing. So we've had this plan for a couple of years. I don't believe we just stumbled onto it. We've recruited for it. We're just giving Stengel and Shai time to develop. So, yeah. But I do believe we'll go with two talls and then swarm them with smalls. That's why with the Jack Townsend question mark I had, hopefully he can keep his form going because if he can't, he'll get dropped again and one of the smalls will come up to replace him. But that's probably a good thing.
Oh, to have pressure for spots is a great thing. It's a sign of a strong club, and we haven't had that issue for quite a long time, obviously. But yeah, it would be interesting if we did get a tall in to who comes out. All those 22 are premiership players, so for them to come out, it must be a pretty big move.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough. And any other trade, even if it's not Richmond related, you heard anything else?
Really, I focus on the Tigers. I do know North. I had I forgot what the guy's name is from the North board. He keeps on asking me to give him stuff. I asked a question about North. Don't really have much. I do know general knowledge. I do know that it's not a happy time at North Melbourne in relation to their players. There's some player disharmony at that club. particularly with their listings this year compared to who they've re-signed. That's what I heard. I heard that this morning. So, and the guy I know works in the media, but he generally fairly well switched on. He said, watch this space with North Melbourne. So that's all I got, really, with other clubs. I just concentrate really on the Tigers. Bottom line, the Tigers, we're all that's just important, you know what I mean? No one else is, so why bother?
Exactly right. Oh, well, thank you for coming on and sharing that. So hopefully that'll keep the masses at bay for a little bit and stop hassling us.
If I hear anything else, I'll post it, right, guys? So if you hear anything else, I'll post it. I know it's pretty vague, but at the end of the day, we've done a lot of work for many years, got us to flag, and now it's more of making sure we can stay that one step ahead. And we've done a lot of work on this year's draft, and we've got a lot of good kids that will improve next year to keep us ahead. So if something great comes up and I hear about it, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, but like you said, though, it's probably a good thing that you aren't hearing things, because it means it's staying within the four walls, as the club would say.
That's right. Yeah, important. Exactly. So,
well, thank you for coming anyway and sharing the Shacky stuff, and it'll definitely be watch this space. So
yeah, watch it.
No worries. Thanks again.
Fantastic, brother. Take care.
See you, mate.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Richmond BigFooty Tigercast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and YouTube so you can follow all the roast and toast, the reviews and previews, and all topics Richmond. Also keep an ear out for our special episodes of interviews with past players. Go Tigers.